let's get into it, shall we? With this combo, talking about Lyran, talking about Deneb, you're basically adding and adding and adding and playing a resource game with this stuff. So normal summoning Deneb and Chainlink 2 being Lyran is going to be the combo that I'm going to talk about. Obviously, you can have exchanges for different cards and get there with other tellers, but this is the baseline. With that, you're going to add a Sky Bridge. Should I add it real quick? Adding a Sky Bridge and then adding an Altair. From there, you're going to overlay these two into the Conductor, and then Conductor is going to banish the Sheraton to be able to add a Caduceus. So essentially, you have a Caduceus in your hand, a Sky Bridge in your hand, and an Altair in your hand. Make sure with these, with the Deneb, the Monster Searcher, with the Lyran, the Spell Searcher, if you already have like Skybridge in your hand, you're probably going to just want to go straight to the Constellar Tellarknights. You won't have to necessarily waste that, or you can just grab one for the follow-up. That's just extra cards in your hand. If you need the Altair, if you're like, man, I'm not going to get there, you're going to want to chain block this, so make this one and then Lyran 2 on summon. So then essentially you can chain block with this. Oh, they asked this, cool, I had Skybridge anyway, it doesn't really matter. And then you're gonna play through an Impung or whatever. That's just kind of how that usually goes. Getting back into it though, this is essentially your board state effect, banish, and then from there you're gonna add that Caduceus. That Caduceus is gonna drop into your hand, and then from there you're gonna special it. And then you're going to essentially have this be your hand, being the Constellar Tellarknights, because this is going to add this. This can also be used as material under something. Make sure that you remember that, the Star Seraph-like effect that essentially allows it to battle a light or a dark monster, and before damage cap, banish that monster completely off the field. It comes up, folks. That's why I want to mention it, because you're going to be playing against more and more decks that have lights and darks in them. I promise you. From there, you're going to summon out Unakal High. And Unakal High is going to dump this guy to the graveyard, all Terran, which basically special summons itself out. When you summon some Tellers out, it gets to come out for free. Essentially from there, guys, you're going to activate Constellar Tellarknights, and you're going to special summon out the Altair from your hand. The Altair is again in your hand. Make sure you don't forget that. The Altair is going to summon out either the Lyran or the Deneb. I'm going to pick probably Deneb. I feel like you're going to play whatever you would play more copies of. Maybe Lyran, I feel like would always be a 3 of, because you just always want to grab those spells because they're so powerful. And then being able to grab one of these names is really, really important back as well. And then from there, because you summon a Teller, you get to special summon out Alteran, and there's your 5 monsters. So let's squeeze this in a little bit. This guy's still up in the graveyard, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll put this guy here, slide it over just a little bit, All right, so from there, Rez, you should have Altair on the field, Caduceus on the field, Unakal High on the field, Alteran on the field, Deneb on the field. Deneb, it can be the other card again. You can, again, overlay all of these guys back. Remember, you used this Sky Bridge, my bad, that should have been in the graveyard, but you're gonna overlay these guys again. And this time, you didn't use this effect that first time that you summoned it, because you didn't need to, but sometimes your hand will be a little bit different. This time, you get to summon Conductor, and this is 5 materials, and add this Sky Bridge that you used earlier back into your hand. From here, you'd overlay into M7, and in effect of Constellar Tellarknights, I overlay for Ptolemaeus because you're ranking down by 2. Ranking down is really, really key. Make sure you guys understand that by using that XYZ material, XYZ monster you control as material, you get to do this. And then from there, effect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's your turn again. Now, how you clear out the game? 2600 defense. You're gonna have stuff like, make sure I can show it off real quick. Being able to, like you said, a Constellar Tellarknights, you can summon out Pallades. Ranking down again later on in your turn. Gaga Magician most of the time. Also as well, if you go into like Deltaros, any of that opening combo, sometimes you need Deltaros to get to some of the other Tellarknight names if you didn't open up so well, or didn't open up Lyran and Deneb to be able to have resources like that. Deltaros will be your means, so it'll be in the graveyard, and then Gaga Magician will pull it back anyway. Let's get into some more combos though. That's just the easy one. Alrighty guys, so in this portion, I didn't want to like over talk it. I feel like you're making Tellarknights a little bit better, but you're making Ryzeal a lot worse. And if you have anti-nib protection with like 3 summons, I wouldn't necessarily do this combo, and you're making Tellarknights better, but it's not worth it. So getting into it, guys, kind of using 2 different deck cores. Shout out to the wise guy. Shout out to Devin. But anyways, guys, we're going to normal Deneb and then chain link 2 Lyran. And that's going to allow you want to chain block, obviously. Whichever one you want the most in the hand, you're going to kind of make one and then the other one 2. But these are going to be the 2 that you add. Most of the time, I would kind of always want this just because it's always going to be able to bring a Teller out of your hand, which is really, really important. Or it can Stellar, but you know, it is what it is with that. From here, I would overlay into Duo Drive. And this is where the interesting part is yeah, it takes 2 level 4s. Interesting, huh? Effect. I'm going to detach those 2. Those go to the grave to be able to add a Ryzeal Cross and an EXT. So then this is your hand pretty much. It's interesting how they're different sleeved. I'm tripped out. All right, so from here, activating Cross. That's your nib protection, but this is gonna be, I believe, 6 summon, guys. You can count them at home. You know, let us know down in the comments if it's wrong. Doubt it. But you're gonna special summon out an EXT, and EXT is going to allow you to obviously pitch in to add the Sword Ryzeal. And Sword is going to special summon itself out, and it's going to allow you to add Ice Ryzeal. I don't think you're going to use Ice Ryzeal necessarily for this turn. You're just going to have it as follow-up. It's good, but why would you commit more when you're already like, do I really want to commit past this? And this is 6 something. That gets kind of shaky. So from here, guys, this is the anti-nib. This is 6 summons, I believe. You go directly into Ryzeal Detonator, and it's the pop, but you have your nib protection because if they go, oh, nib, you go, okay. Fuck off. All right. So from here, activating Castellar Tellarknights, you're going to special summon out Altair. Altair is going to allow us to summon from grave. I'd probably pick this one because I wouldn't want to ever get my Deneb like banished by a Bestial. That's disgusting. But from here, I wouldn't necessarily try to commit anymore. You can go into the conductor route and keep going. It would depend what the other cards, this was a 2-card hand. It would depend what the other 3 cards are. You can go into this guy and then go into Unikal High and then dump and keep going. I guess I can kind of show that. You can go into that, banish him, dump him to the grave. And if you're still going with Tellers, but because you cannot rank up, because you're locked into 4s because of the Ryzeals, that gets kind of weird. So why would you do all that? You have to change that up a little bit. In my opinion, would be to overlay directly into Ptolemaeus. In phase, attach either I probably have that be the extra, the Deltaros in the extra deck. Put him under, and then during your opponent's turn, effect to detach. Not necessarily going for the turn skip in this deck, but being able to summon out Diamond on their turn, or Trivera in the middle of their turn. I wouldn't see that coming, but you know, you can always try that. That would be a waste of a lot of extra deck space, but you can Trivera in the middle of their turn. It's interesting. But Diamond is really, really strong against a lot of dark matchups. You got the Diabell Star stuff and so much other stuff. Obviously Bell, and I could go on and on and on. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm out.